I think that there's a certain delusional quality that all successful people have to have. You have to believe that something different than what has happened for the last 50 million years of history. You have to believe that something different can happen.
Being realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. Why would you be realistic? What's the point of being realistic?
Just put up a barrier.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. It's done. It's already done. The second I decide it's done, it's already done. It's right. Now we just got to wait for y'all to see.
It's unrealistic to walk in a room and flip a switch and lights come on. That's unrealistic. Fortunately, Edison didn't think so. It's unrealistic to think you're going to bend a piece of metal and fly people over an ocean in that metal. That's unrealistic. But fortunately, the Wright brothers and others didn't believe that. And it just seems like such a ridiculous idea to me to embrace the idea that it's not going to happen and that's not real for that to happen. As soon as you say it, now you just made that real. Our thoughts, our feelings, our dreams, our ideas are physical in the universe. That if we dream something, if we picture something, if we commit ourselves to it, that is a physical thrust towards realization that we can put into the universe. That the universe is not a thing that's going to push us around. That the world and people and situations are not something that are going to push us around. That we are going to bend the universe and command and demand that the universe become what we want it to be.
Do you remember being asked what you wanted to be when you grew up as a kid? What was your answer? Maybe you said doctor, or astronaut, or chef, or maybe even something more abstract, like happy. Do you remember all of the various voices that followed as you got older and older and dwindled away at your answer, telling you to be more realistic? The people who said those things likely thought they were doing you a favor in trying to guide you onto a more successful path in order to avoid struggle and strife. Some of them were probably miserable, but I digress. From that first moment onward, that phrase likely managed to seep more and more into your way of speaking and, consequently, your way of thinking. Dreams become just those, dreams. And goals have wider and wider safety nets until eventually you're left with some unrecognizable, hollowed-out concept that looks more like a chore or a task, rather than an idea or a vision that you would be proud to hold up. What do people mean when they say that's not realistic? We look to the definition of realistic coming from the word reality and see two definitions. 1. Having or showing a sensible and practical idea of what can be achieved or expected, and 2. Representing familiar things in a way that is accurate or true to life. When looking at reality, though, we have the world or the state of things as they actually exist, as opposed to an idealistic or notional idea of them, and 2, the state or quality of having existence or substance. So from these definitions, especially the first, we can see that when people say that's not realistic, what they usually mean is that's not likely. I think Will Smith sums it up best, and I'm really grateful to have stumbled on that video of him because I think his illusion is probably one of the most digestible examples out there. No, but seriously, is it likely that 500 years ago, human beings would have thought it would be realistic to have a computer that fits into our pockets, lets us talk to people we know and don't know, near and far, purchase goods and services, and also take a picture instantly of whatever's within proximity? Probably not. Half of what I said might have put them into cardiac arrest. Yet here we are with these bit-sized computers and airplanes that take us to different corners of the country and world, along with so much more that was once also deemed unfathomable and unrealistic. The truth of the matter is, we are conjurers of our own reality. The ability to create and envision is not just a blessing that we have as human beings, it's also innate. All of us have the ability to create and be creative. And while some of us are better at it than others, it's only because those people spend more time exercising that muscle. Think of it like running. We're born with the ability to run naturally. If someone was after you with a knife, you would be in motion. But just because something comes naturally doesn't mean there isn't room for improvement. There are correct ways to run that reduce the risk of injury substantially and also make it a pleasurable experience versus a primal survival tactic. And that kind of speaks to creation too, in a way. Most of us operate or have operated in survival mode for so long that our knee-jerk response is one that comes from lack or pessimism instead of joy and inspiration. And while that is valid, the point, the goal, is to know that you're safe now. You are safe to create and express yourself in a fulfilling way so that you can start chasing happiness instead of evading a knife that's after you. And yet, you still think there's no way that you could possibly make a living doing something you genuinely enjoy. You think you could never own a seaside villa. You think there's no way you'll ever get the romance that involves handwritten letters and vacations everywhere. You think you'll never meet your favorite idol, let alone collaborate with them. Hello, that's crazy. Why would you think that? I know some of those examples might seem frivolous, but to someone somewhere out there, they're their genuine desires. And they think of those things and other things as they lie in bed at night when they can't fall asleep. And they're valid in wanting those things, just like you and I are valid in wanting whatever we want. And that's the thing. The only thing they, you, and I need to do is want it. And want it badly enough. Nothing is off limits to us so long as we can imagine and desire it. Whatever we desire desires us right back. It's like two magnets. Because why else then would we desire what we want? Why does the person on your left want ABC and the person on your right want XYZ and the clerk at the 7-Eleven want 1, 2, 3, please let me go home? I personally have no desire to become a professional ventriloquist in this lifetime. But someone else out there does, because that's what their highest self already has and wanted before they came onto this earth. That's why people have the niche desires they do, and in some cases go on to fulfill it, should they choose to become aligned with their highest self and purpose. And I just think that that is so beautiful because it means that no one and no thing, nothing can take that away from you. Truly, what's yours is yours. Like, what? Ugh. It's amazing. No, but seriously, wanting it is enough. In fact, that's all you need. It's yours to have. That's why we all have such different desires and dreams. We're each here with the potential to unlock the crème de la crème. And the collective crème de la crème is being different, together, here, now. So what do you say when someone says, that's not realistic? Well, I'm gonna hope for like both of your sakes that that's not said like directly to you, because the honest to God response is, you're right. For you. That isn't realistic to you. That's not in your reality. Because after all of our perceptions of reality differ based on our belief systems, our upbringing, etc., etc. There is no objective reality. So yeah, that's not your reality because your reality is yours and yours alone. My reality, on the other hand, respectfully, that's realistic because I said so. Now those could be perceived as fighting words, which is why I said I hope you don't have this encounter directly. But if you do, a simple nod and smile usually suffices. Reality is whatever you make and make of it. You are the creator of your own reality and however you want to experience it. It's your clay, mold it how you like, and know with conviction that whatever you decide to dream up, whether it be the dream from when you were little, or maybe a little more refined version of that, or maybe even something completely different, it's yours to have and yours to experience. And it always has been. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.